Hello, everyone. Irfan here at one of the pharmacies in Port Pirie, located in regional South Australia. And I have a very special friend. Her name is Tanya, and she is from Zimbabwe. Let's listen her story. Tanya, would you like to say something about how you going here as an intern pharmacist and how the journey started? If you please close your
Okay.
mic. And
Okay. So hi, my name is Tanya. I'm an intern pharmacist in Port Pirie. I came to Australia 6 months ago, and my journey has been quite interesting, to be honest. So yeah, I think basically I'm gonna wait for you to ask a lot of questions. But yeah,
Yep. Thank you. Look, the audience that we making this conversation is recorded for, especially those who are actually going for exam.
yeah,
Or maybe some people are actually have a big fear factor
yeah.
because they think that it's very difficult exam. And so we want to listen from you. How were you in the same boat at the time, and how you manage it? Was it very easy journey? And that's what we want to hear from you.
Okay. So I graduated with my master's in 2018, and I only did my CAPS exam in 2021. So as you can imagine, that was a bit of some time. So I wasn't really fresh out of school, so the CAPS exam is quite challenging, considering that most people would have actually left university. They're not studying, so I had that fear as well, because I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do this, considering I haven't actually been studying in university. So I had a fear. And also, we all know that it's not a cheap exam, it's quite expensive.
Yes.
So I had fears, to be honest. And then I started going into groups as well. Like I'm sure most of people are also in groups. Started also hearing people's experiences. Also started looking at the material. It kind of gave me that hope that okay, I can actually try, and I did try to actually give my mind that assurance that I could do it. I was working at the time,
Right.
so I was actually studying and working, which was also challenging because I had to. Sometimes I'd get home very tired. You know, everyone who goes to work knows this. I'd get home at 6 and then maybe sleep, rest a bit, and then wake up later on to
Wow.
study. So you need to actually find your balance as a person. Some people can study for more hours and all of that, but I used to sleep first and then wake up to study. So the confidence only came from actually studying a lot.
Okay.
So I did study consistently for about 3 4 months, because I wasn't fresh out of school, so I had to put in some work with that. Yeah.
So Tanya, tell us about your study pattern. As you said, you studied 3 months or 2 months. How much time you study first, and how many time you had did a revision? Like
Yeah.
how many time you repeatedly learning those things? Can you say that? That will be very helpful
Yeah.
for people who are listening.
So you do have to know yourself as a person. So for me, I do better with reading and writing.
Okay,
So I would read a lot and then write it
right at
down.
all. Okay,
So after reading and writing, I would then maybe try implement that at work, like whatever I've studied, and I try to remember. If I'm at work and I look at a drug or something, I'll try to like regurgitate my memory to see if I remember that thing.
okay,
So to some extent, it actually ended up helping. But I also had other people who I was studying with at that time. So I had my fellow colleagues who would also like call up, and we'd talk about exams and would give each other hope and would revise as well. So you do need a support system. You do need people who understand that you are studying, and you do need that assurance from other people as well who are also in the same boat. So it helped that I had people who were also writing the exam.
and
Yeah.
Tanya, what was the motivation behind it? All what you have
Yeah.
achieved.
I think my biggest motivation was I needed a change. There's something that had happened to me personally. I needed a change of scenery. So I wanted to move so much. Like most people want to migrate, you have to have a reason that's driving you to move. So that was my biggest motivation. And of course, we know the exam is not very cheap. So you had
Yes.
to study, put
Oh,
in some work in
yes.
there.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
money. I think
it's a lot of money. Yeah,
in dollar versus
yeah,
your country currency,
yeah. It's a
I think
lot.
it's really really hard. You need to save
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
or yes, parents normally
Yeah,
support, but you earn and then you
you have
paid.
to pay. Yeah, so you're paying your own exam, so it should motivate you a lot as well. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's a wonderful story from Tanya. And Tanya, how you feeling when you arrived here in Australia? How can you tell us about what's happening right now when you're
Yeah.
here in regional South Australia?
Okay, yeah. So for me, I had a supportive boss. Ifan is the person who actually, was guiding me. So I was lucky in that sense. I had a very supportive mentor. Someone was telling me how it goes and all of that. So you do also need people who are going to tell you what to expect when you get there. So I was kind of mentally prepared when I came here because I knew what to expect. He already told me what I need to read, and yeah, because internship here is also its own struggle, its own. You've got a lot to learn, as much, especially as an overseas pharmacist. You've got quite a lot to learn. So it helped that he mentally prepared me that you need to do this and that and that. You need to know all of this. So when I came here, in terms of internship, I knew what to expect. But in terms of just the environment, it's a really beautiful country. The people are really amazing. So far, I can't complain.
Okay,
Yeah.
we had a lot of questions. People say that Australian people are very racist. What do you think about
So
that?
far, I haven't gone through that. To
Oh
be
my God!
honest,
So all the
I
races are
haven't gone.
gone. You know
Yeah,
that
that's not.
whoever asking me this question,
Yeah,
I heard that Australia is a very racist
yeah,
country, but we have the second person saying they
yeah,
haven't come across anything, and so you can imagine that people are very friendly in this
yeah.
country. And uh, so did you make a lot of friends here?
So far, yes, I've actually been out in the community. I'm trying to get a lot of the. You do have to be out in the community to
Yes.
meet people. So I have been going around, going to different places,
Wow.
into different communities, just to see what it's about, to know the culture,
Yes.
because you have to know the culture anyway to understand it. So
Yes.
I've
And
met
you're telling
good
me about
people.
some sporting activity that you're involved
Yes,
here. What
there's
is
a
that? Can you
really
please tell it?
amazing pool here. So
All right.
I'm invested in the pool. There are a
Okay.
lot of walks that happen here, like morning runs, park runs, all of that. So there's always something that you can look for that you enjoy doing. So
Oh, wow.
I've found something that I enjoy doing. So
So
yeah.
it's a great move coming from leaving
Yes,
your
out being a
parents,
pen.
leaving parents back
Yeah,
home,
yeah,
and I mean, obviously,
yeah,
there is something which happened, which
yeah,
like your mother passed away. That's so
yeah,
sad. Same time when you
yeah,
left the country, and but your sisters are back
yeah,
home, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
yeah,
Okay. Anything, any message for people who are listening, because they are all in the same boat.
yeah,
Probably you were
yeah,
there in 2 years ago, maybe,
definitely.
and someone maybe just is still in a fear factor that
Mm,
can be started. Would it
mm,
happen? Would, can we go, or can you please say
any
any
message?
message, or especially when can you tell us a little bit about that, how you've been approached, like how did you approach us,
Yeah,
like how did you
yeah,
approach for an Australian employer, like
yeah.
this is something which is very interesting for them to know. What was a more of factor that how you got this job?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, first of all, I'd say just start the process. You have to start from somewhere. You can't not start. Unfortunately, it might seem overwhelming when you start it, but you have to start the process if you want to get
Yes,
something
so you
done.
need to take action.
So yes, take action, start the process, and then don't just wait for things to happen. Even when you're applying for jobs, I mean, just the fact that you're actually on part, like watching videos and all of that, it's a good step. That's how you learn more, and that's how you actually find out more about the stuff that's happening. So number one, start the process. Then number two, be on the internet. Go and look for jobs. I found it fun through a Seek portal. It was Indeed, I think. Seek,
Yes,
like
yes.
just it's just where you look for jobs, right? So at first, I actually thought it was a scam because, yeah, I really thought it was a scam. To be honest, I
Directly
thought,
talking to you on the camera.
yeah.
You were coming
Then
from the
yeah,
church.
yeah, I was coming from church. I'm like, this is not happening. But then yeah, from a Christian background, so I then thought, no, okay, this is God, because I was literally coming from church, and he was like, let's schedule an interview. I'm like, okay, someone's gonna steal my money now. It's a very bad assumption, but that's what I thought.
So that was January
Yeah,
2022.
January 2022.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So then we
I was
did the
sitting
interview.
here. I
Yeah,
was
he was
sitting here in the
literally,
pharmacy
yeah,
here,
yeah,
and I think I called you. I said, "Look, let's
yeah.
come on the camera, and we do have a
Yeah,
quick chat with
yeah,
you."
yeah.
Yes.
So we just did the interview, and next thing is like, okay, I'll get back to you. And the whole time I was still in, disbelief and all of that. But again, that only happened after I'd done my exams and my skills assessment and all of that. So you should get that going
So
so that you
you were
actually,
ready at that time. So
yes,
you
I
have
was
everything ready.
ready.
I asked you
Yeah,
a few simple questions. Do you
yeah,
have a CAPS? Do you have
yeah,
English? And
yeah,
you were
yeah,
ready there. Yeah.
yeah. So the employers do want to know that you've done, something. So you can't just approach employers without anything. Just get your English exam done, your CAPs done, or your assessments done. Then at least if the employers approach you, they are ready to give you a job when you are ready as well. So yeah.
And you were brave enough to come on the camera, right?
I was brave, but I was scared because I was like, I don't know what to expect. But I was like, let's do this. So just have the courage to do it. Just do it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And any last minute advice for young pharmacists who are coming to Australia
Yeah.
from around the world?
From around the world. Yeah.
Yes,
It's
because
it's
we are
a
talking to to people from
Everyone.
Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
from West Africa,
Yeah.
maybe Middle East, maybe Egypt, Jordan,
Yeah.
and a lot of Pakistanis will be listening this, and a lot of Indian
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe some Asian countries people will be
Yeah.
listening, and some European maybe. Yep.
Mm. Yeah, so like I said before, I think it is a process. It is something that you need to mentally prepare yourself. It's not, I can't say it's easy. It's not an easy process, but it's something that is worth it. If you want to do it, just start it, and then you'll see the rest flowing. So
Mm.
just go ahead and do
And
it.
you're looking forward for this profession in this country.
Definitely, yeah,
And
yeah,
you love the regional
definitely.
area. You mentioned
I
something very good
Yeah,
today, that you really like Port Pirie, and
yes, I love
because
Port Pirie, yeah.
what makes you more
Yeah.
comfortable here? Was the people here,
Yeah,
or
it's a community. Like I said, if you want to be happy in the regional areas, you have to be part of the community. So I think that's one of the first things Ifan also encouraged me to do, is like, you have to step out there. So find what you enjoy doing, because if you're gonna stay at home the whole day miserable, you might find regional areas very depressing.
yes?
But if you're part of the community and you're moving around, seeing a lot of people as well, it makes it easier for you.
I
Yeah.
know that. I know when I speak to someone, I always ask about, do you take part in any sports? So
Yes.
that's like very
That's what you meet
like
people.
connecting people easily. Like
Yeah.
if you go to a
Yeah.
swimming pool, or if you go to
Yeah.
walk,
Yeah.
you make friends, because at that time there's no
There's no
agenda.
tension,
Yes,
and it's
yes,
easier. You're just
yes.
having a good time. You're doing what you like,
Yep.
and
So
yeah.
because that's the question that I always give to new applicants
Yes.
who are approaching
Yes.
me, that
Yes.
how you're going to mix. So this is a very good example
Mm.
what we have just discussed, that mixing with community, mixing
Yeah.
with Australian
Yeah.
culture,
You do need
what
to mix
Tanya has
around
just
people.
mentioned. So
Yeah.
you need to incorporate that in your interviews as well,
Mm.
when you going to be interviewed with employer, because employer would like to have that side of sort of personality,
Yeah. That you're not
because
just a
yes.
bookworm
Yep.
stuck at
Yep,
work.
you need to be
Yeah.
very easygoing with the
Yeah.
team here, and
Mm.
also with the customers as well.
Yeah.
So that will actually win you the job, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah. Just be open to
Yes.
trying new things.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you
Tanya,
so
for
much,
enjoy
Yvonne.
your day, and good luck for your exam coming in
Thank you.
June.
In June,
And you will
yes.
have the full-fledged tag of
Hopefully.
pharmacist. And I would like to see you. You already have accelerating pharmacist, intern pharmacist, but I would like to see you a consultant pharmacist as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something which you
That's
can
next
do,
step.
and
Yeah.
eventually, bright future is waiting for you.
Thank you,
All right.
Irfan.
Okay. You
Yeah.
take care. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Yvonne.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Yerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilo